If you're buying a new Honda in 2026, chances are you'll be using this exact infotainment system, whether it's the CR-V, the Accord, HR-V, Civic, or another Honda model. This display is mainly in Honda's lineup. So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys everything from the wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto to the cameras, audio controls, the customization, and you guys are going to decide whether it's good enough to compete with Toyota, Mazda, Hyundai, and Kia. Alright guys, so quickly before the video begins, if you guys have a number on your key fob, that means you have the Honda memory system. So make sure you guys have the right key, number 1 or number 2, whichever key you want to link these settings to, have it in the car. Only have one key in the car because whatever settings you change, it's going to link to the key. But yeah, without further ado, let's go and get started with the instrument cluster. Alright guys, so right here we have the Honda instrument cluster. This is the digital instrument cluster, and as you guys can see here to your left, it is configurable with this left scroll wheel on the steering wheel. So if you guys go and scroll through it, this is going to be all your audio sources. So we have FM, phone, AM, USB, Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, which most people are going to just use. So whatever audio source you want, select it, and it'll automatically show up right there. If you don't want it to show your audio information, you can go and scroll down here to customize display, audio and clock, and click off, and it'll just be your power meter, which is how I like it. And if we go back to the customize display button here, go to hide and show. If you guys don't want any of these to show up on the cluster, you guys can disable it. And that's pretty much it for that left side. Right over here is going to be your battery meter for your hybrid. If you guys have a ICE vehicle or a gas vehicle, this will just show your coolant temperature, I believe. Right here is going to be your outside temperature, what gear you're in, and if it says ready, that means your car's ready to drive. That should only show for hybrids, and then EV mode will pop up right there, as you guys could see. Moving towards the middle here, this is your main cruise control system, so you can turn it on and off with this button right here. If you guys have it off, that digital like vehicle view will go away, kind of like visual of your car. It'll mimic your brake lights, mimic your turn signals. Pretty cool visual. I do like Honda's new safety sense system. But yeah, you do have your digital speedometer up there, what drive mode you're in, odometer right there, Honda sensing. And that moves us to this right side, which there is a lot more configurability with this right side. Using the right scroll wheel on your steering wheel, you guys can go ahead and scroll through all different sorts of settings here, or menus. So you guys can go to your range, average fuel, and then to change to trip A, trip B, you're going to want to press in right there on the scroll wheel. That'll change between trip A and trip B. So if you want to reset trip A, and we're on trip B right now, press it in once. That'll change it to trip A, and if you want to reset it, press and hold. As you guys can see, I'm not going to reset it. But yeah, next to that is going to be your average speed, elapsed time driving, as well as your trips. Scroll down once, you're going to have some driver safety here and some driver attention level. I don't really use this, it's kind of annoying, I have it off. Scrolling down once again, that's going to be your seat belt, so you can see who's buckled in and who's not buckled in. It also shows for the rear seats. Pretty nice. Scroll down one more time, you're going to have your maintenance, so how much oil life you have left. Scroll down once more, safety support. This is how you turn on and off your safety settings. So using the scroll wheel, press in. That'll go and show you all your safety settings that you can enable and disable. So we have road departure mitigation. If you want to turn it off, press it in once. As you guys can see, you want to turn it on, press it on, check it. We have blind spot information, low speed braking control, parking sensors, automatic emergency braking, and that's pretty much it for that section. If we scroll on once more, this is going to be same thing as this side, so it's not going to show anything, no content. That'll automatically go away, as you guys can see. And now it's just like a typical gauge cluster. If you guys like a simplicity look, That's what I would keep it on. Scroll down once more, you have a brightness or a dimmer for your gauge cluster, which will also dim your buttons, as you guys can see. It actually controls everything, including your screen right there. Very neat. Scroll down once more, you can turn on and off traction control. I don't think you could fully turn it off, yeah, so only reduce it. Once more, this is going to be the major settings of your vehicle. And you guys may be wondering, why isn't it on this screen? That's my question too. Why won't Honda put it on the screen? Because the older Hondas used to be on the infotainment system, but now they moved it to the cluster, which I think is just more inconvenient and less people are going to know how to use this. But yeah, if you guys go ahead and go into vehicle settings here, press in the scroll wheel. We have TPMS calibration, so that's to reset your tire pressures once you filled it up. Driver assist system setup. You can change your forward collision warning distance. So this is how far away you have to be from the car in front of you for the car to warn you to brake. I have it set to long. We have normal and short. Long is usually the safest setting. And I don't like how it just reverts back to this back button that you have to scroll all the way back up to get where you were at. It's just not intuitive. I don't like this at all. But yeah, scroll down once more. We have adaptive cruise control, forward vehicle detect beep. What that's gonna do is when automatic cruise control detects a car in front of you, it's gonna beep, just to let you know that it senses the car in front of you. You can turn that on or off. Scroll down once more, we have road departure mitigation. So this is how early it's gonna warn you once you depart your lane. So I like to keep it on warning only. Yeah, again, I have to scroll all the way back down to where I was. Next is going to be lane keeping assist, suspend beep. So if you're on adaptive cruise control and the adaptive cruise control system no longer senses lane markings, it'll beep to let you know to take over the wheel. That's nice. Scroll down once more, we have blind spot information. So you can choose whether you want it to beep at you when it senses a car next to you or just visual only. I have it on audible and visual. Of course, you have to scroll all the way back down again. We have traffic sign recognition system. So in here, you can turn on and off your traffic sign recognition, where it'll show speed limit signs and stop signs right there. Traffic sign recognition system exceeding speed warning. So when you exceed the speed limit warning, it's going to flash the speed limit sign up there for you to remind you that you're speeding. I have that off. Next is going to be speed limit warning threshold setting. So this is to set a threshold. So if you're going 3 over the speed limit, it'll warn you, or if you go 5 over, it'll warn you, or 10 over, whatever you prefer. Gonna keep it just at the speed limit. Some people like to do 5 or 10 over. Next is going to be driver attention monitor. I have this off, like I said, don't really use it. It's kind of annoying on long road trips. Next is going to be rear sensor setting. I'm not sure why this is a separate setting because we already have the parking sensors enabled in the other menu, but I guess this is a rear sensor setting. So I guess it's for the rear sensors, not sure. Again, Honda has this, it's like kind of confusing. I don't know why. That's it for the driver's assist settings of the vehicle settings section here. If we go down to meter setup, we have language selection. We have adjust outside temperature display. I wouldn't recommend anybody to touch this. As you guys can see, if it's 92 degrees outside right now, you can set it so it's like you could set it like at a threshold where it'll rise +1 or +2. I don't know, I just wouldn't touch that. So I'm gonna put that back to where it was. Anyways, next is gonna be trip A reset timing. So you can manually reset it. So you can choose to manually reset it, or you can have it automatically reset when fully refueled, or automatically reset every time you turn off the car. So those are those settings. Same thing with trip B. Next is going to be adjust alarm volume. So this is going to be how loud your chimes are and how loud your turn signal sounds are. So I have it on high. Most people are going to like to keep it on low, but I like it on high, and you also have a medium setting. Next is going to be fuel efficiency backlight. So I can't explain this right now because I'm not driving, but when you're driving efficiency, there's going to be little green symbols on the side of your gauges to let you know you're driving efficiently. Next, scroll all the way back down. I don't know why it doesn't remember. Rear seat reminder. So this is self-explanatory. It'll remind you to check the rear seats if you put something back there or put a child back there. I'm gonna go and turn that off because I don't use that. And next is going to be speed distance units. So you can change from miles per hour to kilometers here. So let's say you're going to Canada or whatever, you can change it to kilometers. Keep it on miles for now. And that is going to be it for that section. Next is going to be driving position setup. So this is only going to be for cars with the memory seating. So memory position link, that's going to link your seat settings to whatever key you're using. Same thing with the cluster settings. So I'm using key 1, so that's going to link my memory seating settings to key 1. So we have that on. Next is going to be seat position movement at entry and exit. So when you turn off the car, the seat will slide back, and when you turn it on, the seat will slide forward. Self-explanatory for easy entry. And that's pretty much it for that section. Next is going to be keyless access setup. So there's quite a few settings in here. So door unlock mode. With your key fob, when you hit it once, do you want it to unlock all the doors or just the driver's door? I have it on all doors. If you have it set to driver door only, you will need to press 2 times on the key fob for it to unlock all the doors. Otherwise, the first press will only unlock the driver's door. Next is going to be keyless access light flash. So do you want your lights to flash, the hazards to flash, when you unlock or lock the car using the key fob? And I have that too on. Next is going to be keyless access beep. So do you want the car to beep on the second time you press the lock button? And I have that on as well. Next is going to be remote start system. On the key fob here, you have the button, so why not enable it? I have that on. And that's pretty much it for the keyless settings. Next is going to be lighting setup. So in here you can turn on and off your auto high beam. Next to that, interior light dimming time. How long after you get out of the car will the lights still stay on? I have that set to 30 seconds, and you can also change it to your liking. Next is going to be headlight auto off timer. So how long after you leave the car will the headlights stay on? I also have that to 30 seconds. Next is going to be auto light sensitivity. So this is going to change how sensitive your automatic lights are. So if you go into a tunnel and it turns on immediately, it may be too sensitive. So you might want to turn it down to like low or mid or minimum. I have it set to max because I like my lights on sometimes earlier. Next is going to be auto headlight on with wiper on. So when your wipers turn on, your headlights will turn on with your wipers because it's raining. So I have that on. So that's pretty much it for the lighting setup. Next is going to be door setup. So here you have auto door lock. So we tap on that. This is going to choose how you want your car to lock once you start driving. So I have it set to shift from P. So the car is currently unlocked, and if I shift from P, the car automatically locks. And you can change this to a lot of different settings. So you can do off or with vehicle speed. So when your car goes over 10 miles or 15 miles an hour, it'll automatically lock. But yeah, I have it on shift from P. Next is going to be auto door unlock. So I know most people will keep this on shift to P, but I have it on all doors when driver's door opens. So if the car's locked and I open my driver's door, the rest of the car will unlock. I think that's the most convenient one. But you can change it to all doors when shifted to park or all doors when ignition off. Next is going to be walk away auto lock. I have this on. When you walk away from the car with the key, your car will automatically lock. Next is going to be keyless lock answer back. So if you grab on the door handle of your car, the car will beep. If you guys don't like that, you can turn it off with this setting. Next is going to be keyless remote power window control. So with your key fob, you can press and hold the unlock button and that'll roll down all your windows on a hot sunny day. You guys can turn that off if you guys don't use it. Lockout prevention, I wouldn't recommend turning this off. What that does is if you forget the key in your car, you will not be able to lock the car. Next is going to be lock presetting. I'm not sure what this is. If somebody can explain it to me, please do in the comments down below. Don't know what this means. Lock presetting. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for that section. If we go and scroll down here, next is going to be power tailgate setup. So keyless open mode, what that does is it's going to relate to this trunk button on your key fob. So you can choose to have it work anytime, even when the car is locked, or if you scroll down, only when the car is unlocked will this button work. So you're going to have to hit unlock and then press the trunk button. But I have it set to anytime, so even when the car's locked, I can still press it without unlocking the car. Next is going to be power open by outer handle. Obviously, you're going to have to want to keep this on if you have a power trunk, or else the power trunk isn't going to work. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the tailgate setup. Next is going to be climate control setup. So driver's seat automatic climate control. What that does is if you guys have the automatic climate control sitting on, you guys are going to have automatic heated seats. Same thing with the passenger seat automatic. That's pretty much it for the climate control settings. Next is going to be maintenance reset. So if you guys want to reset the oil changes or oil reminders, you guys can do that on here if you guys change your oil at home. And that is pretty much it for the settings. Next is going to be gauge display settings. If you guys press on that, you guys can hide, show all these different things, which I have them all on. And you guys can change the gauge design. We have the round, which is these round gauges, or you guys can have the bar gauges, which are these gauges on the side. And if you guys have minimal, what minimal basically means is that the gauges will automatically hide to show a cleaner view of these visualizations when you're on cruise control. So I have it on round and minimal. But yeah, that is going to be pretty much it for the gauge cluster. To your right here, you're obviously going to have your gas gauge. But other than that, that is pretty much it for the Honda digital instrument cluster. Let's go ahead and move on to the infotainment system. Alrighty guys, so hopping into the CR-V infotainment system here. This system is really basic. Honda's infotainment system used to be a little bit more detailed, but I'm not sure why on these newer cars it's less detailed. And by the way guys, this infotainment system isn't on every Honda. There are some Hondas where they have the bigger 12-inch screen. This specific car is a 26 CR-V Sport L. So if you guys have a Accord Touring or a Pilot Touring and Elite, or any of the cars that have a 12-inch screen, that's going to be a different infotainment system. So this video isn't going to apply to you. But yeah, as for this screen, let's go ahead and dive into it. So this is your home screen. Pretty basic looking home screen, very dated. You guys can change your audio sources from here. And you guys can change some sound settings, quick access from this button here. As you guys can see, we're going to get into more of this once we get into the settings. And this is some media control. And you're going to have quick access to Apple CarPlay right here. As you guys can see, the system has a tactile click to it. Sounds nice. You guys are going to have a quick access button to Apple CarPlay and Android Auto right there. You guys do have wireless Android Auto and wireless CarPlay. with this system. Another quick access button to CarPlay or Android Auto is this connect button right there. Let's go and jump into the general settings here. First is going to be system. You guys can change the date and time on here. Should be automatic, so auto daylight saving and all that too. Make sure you guys have that on. So it's just automatic. You can set it and forget it. Next is going to be language. You only have 3 languages to choose from. Next is going to be factory data reset. So you're going to want to do that if you guys are selling the car or trading it in. Next is going to be touch panel sensitivity. So you can change the sensitiveness of the touchscreen. So if you're wearing gloves, you might want to set it to high. I have it on high at default. And then legal information, we don't care about that. Next is going to be connections. So this is where you guys can connect phones, connect Android Auto and Apple CarPlay by clicking on connect new device right there. We go and hit options here. You can change the priority device. So the car is always going to want to find this phone first before connecting to the other phones. Wi-Fi settings. This is going to be the password for your Wi-Fi hotspot and all that. Backing out of there, let's go down to display. You guys can configure the brightness of the display, the contrast, the black level of the display. I just messed with the brightness, turn that all the way up. Next is going to be data sharing with Honda. I can't access this even though I have the Honda Link app. Not sure why this is not working, but you guys can disable data sharing with Honda. If we go and go into sound here, you can change your bass, mid, and treble. So these are my sound settings. If you guys do want a quicker access to this page, instead of going through the general settings, you can click the sound on here and it'll take you there. Balance and fader, pretty normal stuff you see in Hondas. Next is going to be speed volume compensation. So as you get on the highway, your speed of the car increases, the volume will follow that. Next is going to be sound volume. So you guys can configure some of the system sounds here. Like this click, if you want it to be really loud, that is really loud. But yeah, I personally just have that on 2. Voice recognition volume, navigation guidance volume, ringtone volume, phone call volume. Next is going to be rear camera. You can change if you guys want the guideline of the rear camera. So if you guys don't want this guideline, we can turn it off. Show guidelines that do not move with the steering wheel, off. Dynamic guideline off. That'll get rid of your guidelines for the backup camera. Turn it back on here. You can turn on and off cross traffic monitor. And yeah, that is pretty much it for this infotainment system, guys. Some more things you can configure are in reverse. So you can change through your different types of camera views, wide angle, normal view, top down view, so you can see directly below your camera. We have cross traffic monitoring here. Turn it on or off. If you tap this is just going to enlarge your sensor view. You don't really need this view because it already flashes and lets you know. And then this is just to configure the brightness of your backup camera. And yeah, put it in a park, camera goes away. Super basic infotainment system, but I know most people aren't going to complain about it because it's easy to use. And yeah. That is going to be it for the 2026 Honda infotainment system walkthrough and review. If I did miss anything, don't be afraid to let me know in the comments down below. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video.